Okay, so back to the LETA chip. I was thinking about it and realising that I need to work out how this decoding works for reading these inputs. There's actually two trackpads can be connected, 1 and 2. You can see horizontal and vertical clock and data, but I don't know which configuration of these two inputs relates to which of these trackpads. This game only uses trackpad 1 or one trackpad, but I don't know whether it's this one or that one. I believe it to be that one, but I can't absolutely be sure. So I've connected up a logic analyzer for the chip select, which obviously pops the data from the chip onto the bus, and a couple of pins, BA0, BA1, which are the select for each horizontal, vertical 1 and 2 to put the numbers onto the bus. Because what I intend doing is having an LS157 to switch between the horizontal and vertical counter outputs, because there'll be 4 in total, so that you can send the right data onto the bus. And now we've got chip select, BAO, BA1, 100111. So those are the 4 possible states, but I don't know which of these correspond to these inputs. But considering this game only uses 1, it may be that the software will only ever try and read from 1. So I've connected up a logic analyzer. You can see I've got here BA0, BA1 as both as 0 when the chip select's low. So we'll go for a trigger and see what happens. So we'll set up on 0, 1. And there it is. That's BA, can't see it for the light. BA0, BA1, chip select goes low, and they're both 0. So that's 1 there. Again. It's doing that fairly regularly. So the next configuration, if you look at the channels, is BA being 1 and 0, and we'll try again. And although there's 1 there, I believe that was erroneous. No, it seems to be doing it all the time. It didn't do that a minute ago. That's interesting. Right, we'll carry on. The channel conditions come down here to low, high. See about that one. And it timed out, it didn't find one. Again, it timed out, didn't find one. Okay, so none of that one. Change the trigger conditions to both high. Bing, 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 bing. You can see both the datas are high, chip select low. So that's okay. So I'll go back to the original condition, was both low. Bing, 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 bing. That happens quite quickly. And that other condition, what was it? BO high. And that one's happening as well. So that's a bit peculiar, because a minute ago it wasn't doing that. I'd actually got it as this. Whoops, this is never happening, but it is happening. A few moments ago I only ever saw these 2 states, which is a bit of a frustration, because now I don't know quite why. Well, one of these surely is unnecessary, but this looks a bit odd. If you look at it, you see the chip select is really long. Oh, and this time it's timed out. And now there's nothing again. Let's just check, and it's timed out again. Yeah, that's the one that previously was doing nothing. Is now doing, oh, there was one there, look, and another one there. I wonder why it's occasionally going there, but it is very occasionally. Sorry, I can't quite see, can you? Yeah, again, very long chip select. Look at the length of that chip select. What is it? 750 nanoseconds. 750, 750, 750. That's really a really long pulse. Let's just put it to one of the more regular ones. Look at the length of this pulse. Is now 42 nanoseconds. 42, 42. Go back here, get rid of this, get rid of that. Change these both to high. Try again. Really short chip select. I'll go back to the one that seems to be erroneous, which is this one. And it timed out. And again it timed out. Just change those to that other configuration. And it's timed out again. Timed out again. So I think I can ignore that as being maybe there's a condition I'm seeing where it isn't, but it is actually selecting it. It is actually selecting it, but I don't know why. Like, there's nothing else to read on there apart from them, so I don't know. Maybe it's something a bit odd in the code. I've got 16H on the Logic Pro, that's at the top, but that doesn't seem to, again, it's not happening, look. That doesn't seem to have any effect on it. It's low on that one. Let's go for a known condition, or seemingly no condition. There it's low, there it's high, low, high, high, high. I'm looking at this signal. Oops. You can see it's go that way. Yeah, that seems arbitrary even to the chip select. I think that's just the clock for the chip. It doesn't really figure, does it? So, hope you find that interesting. So I'm going to go with these two, this configuration, BA and BA1. If I'm going to use this chip on another board, and this is effectively half of this LETA because it only reads one trackpad input, I'm going to have to build in some address decoding, which is jumper selectable, so that if somebody else decides I want to use both, I'd have to build two of these boards, change this address. So I'm going to have to use something like the old 74 LS138, and I can decode these into, so we've got AO and A1, whoops, can't see, can you? And then we'd have 0, 1, 2 and 3 as the outputs, and then you can select which one you're going to be using to operate that data selector, and therefore which set of inputs. Hope that makes sense. Cheerio.